Hi, I'm Katie, and in today's video, I'm going to talk to you about the single most important question you'll ever have to ask yourself. This comes from Albert Einstein, and he said the single most important question you'll ever have to ask yourself is, do I live in a hostile universe or a friendly universe? And your answer is going to predict a lot of things. And I'm going to talk to you about what it affects. But first, I'll talk about this whole perspective of living in a friendly or a hostile universe. This is a little bit different than if the glass is half empty or half full. We're not necessarily looking at things as full or empty or good or bad or positive or negative. We're just trying to understand of our day-to-day, moment-to-moment interactions with other people, with the world around us, as well as ourselves. Are they more friendly, kind, compassionate, polite, respectful interactions and experiences? Or are they more angry, negative, and all that comes with the word hostile? So stopping, taking a few breaths, observing what is going on, how you're feeling, that is a mindfulness tool to understand how you feel or how you perceive the world around you. And why this is so important is because it is going to affect your mood, it'll affect your blood pressure, it'll affect what food you go to eat, what food you don't eat, how much you exercise or how little you exercise. It's going to affect the type of people you hang around, the conversations you have, and those conversations will also affect what type of social media you're going to listen to or not listen to. It's also going to affect, what you do on a day-to-day basis, which will then slowly start to compound on how we live our lives. So our habits create our lives, basically. And it's another way of kind of thinking it is, are you constantly looking for the dirt in people or the gold? So it's a lot easier to just focus on maybe that one thing or that one conversation that was negative, or maybe it didn't sit well with you that day. Instead of turning your perspective and actually thinking about all the actual respectful and kind interactions you had in that day. Maybe when you got the coffee, maybe somebody held the door for you, just anybody that you've been around, or just the conversations and experiences that you're having within yourself. Now, what this has to do with the law of attraction is the law of attraction says you attract what you are, or like attracts like. So if you are constantly focusing on all the hostile experiences and all the negative, you are going to attract more of that. If you're focusing more on the friendly aspects of the world, doesn't mean everything is rainbows and puppies all the time. You can still be very realistic about this, but you're going to attract more of those friendly experiences because it is what it is. Like attracts like. Now that is just science in itself. And some mindfulness tools, I gave you one before, is the stop method. So stopping, taking a few breaths, observing what's going on, and doing this throughout the day. You don't have to be in a heightened, anxious state in order to stop and take a few breaths. Do this, maybe have a little reminder on your computer or your phone. Do this at random times. Do this for, it literally will take 1 minute at the most. So you can stop, take a few breaths, observe how you're perceiving the world, observe where your mind is going, how you're feeling, and then proceed with what you're doing. Another little mindfulness tool is start to question these thoughts. So, if you start to notice that you're going into more of the hostile thoughts, start to say, is this true 100% of the time? Absolutely. Can it be proven that it's true 100% of the time? And most of the time, I would say more often than not, maybe about 99%, the answer to that will be absolutely not, because almost everything that we think is an opinion. It is a feeling, not a fact. So I want you to either practice stopping, taking a few breaths and observing proceeding, that's the STOP, or just start questioning your thoughts. And journaling is always great, but if that isn't in your practice, don't worry about it. Hope that helps.